Welcome to Interrogation, a game where two contestants have up to 20 questions to unravel a mystery. There are no prizes. It's all just for fun and glory. First contestant. The category is nonprofit organization. Go.
Is it a religious organization?
No.
No. Is its focus on feeding people?
No.
Does it focus on disaster relief?
No.
No. Let's see here. Does it do medical work?
Does it do medical work?
Is its focus on medical? Yes. Focus is on medical. Okay. Is it Doctors Without Borders?
No.
Okay. Does it work with kids?
Yes.
Is it Make-A-Wish?
No.
Let's see. Does it Give Kids the World?
No.
Is it the Shriners?
It's focused on medical.
Yep.
Okay.
Is it the Shriners?
No.
Okay. Ooh. Do they run hospitals?
I could be wrong, but I've never heard of them do so.
Okay.
They're not known. They're not known for it. Put it that way.
Okay.
If they do, I mean, Becky shakes her head no.
Okay. Are they international?
Yes.
Oh boy. Wow. Okay, because that just threw out the couple I was thinking of because they're much more U.S. focused. Are they run through the United Nations?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Oh boy. Like I said, I feel like we've eliminated Red Cross and similar ones to that because they're more disaster relief. Medical. I'm trying to think what other medical nonprofits I'm aware of. And that's where I'm going to run. You kind of get stumped because I hit the couple I know of that aren't religious focused. I know several that are religious focused.
What a surprise. What a surprise.
It's a pastor.
Yeah. If you don't know, George is a minister. Sir Willow's real name is George, and George is actually a minister.
Yeah, I'm pastor of church, and so there's a number of organizations like that we support.
Not to get anyone confused, but Sir Willow, his channel is not a religious channel, but just
my main channel is, and I do actually have. Well, we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll do that another time.
Oh wow. Let's see. So Doctors Without Borders.
It's focused on medical.
Do they respond? How do I put this? Do people come to them instead of them going to people? Does that make sense?
Boy, both Becky and I are stumped on now.
I think more they go to people.
No.
Okay. As an illustration,
I hope you didn't hear that, but no.
No, I didn't hear.
Okay.
As an illustration, if there's a disaster, the Red Cross and like Convoy of Hope will go there.
Okay. You can't say an answer because I can only say yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. They can only ask me yes or no. Okay. You can't give them, because that would give George, and it would just be unfair.
And I didn't hear her, so
okay.
My hearing's not that good.
Okay, so what was the question?
Do they go to the people rather than have the people come to them?
from my understanding, I have no clue.
Okay, and if you don't know the answer, I'll just move on to a different question.
Okay. I don't. Probably some do, and probably some don't. I know that they're proactive, but if you knew what they were, I could see where people would come to them.
Okay. Wow, and I'm trying to think. I'm almost afraid I'm going to run into a situation where I may not know this organization or.
Oh, you know it. If you don't know this, how old are you, Rick? George, how old are you?
51.
I'm 57. We know this organization.
Okay. Does the organization still exist?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Medical. Is their headquarters in the United States?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Wow. Because I mean, I was thinking of a couple others that were centered in Europe and one in Africa, and so that eliminated those too.
You can burn two.
Yeah, let me burn the hint. Because
burn points. I mean, if you feel like you can go with it, do go with it. I don't want to purpose.
No, I have no idea. Let's burn that hint and see what we can come up with.
Okay. Give me a second. Oh. Okay. You probably hate me for this hint. Their original purpose was accomplished. They are now on to related problems.
Oh, okay.
Repeat that. Their original purpose was accomplished. They are now on to related problems.
Oh. Boy, that opens up a few different things. Is the March of Dimes?
Yep. Oh, I probably gave too big of a clue because they originally were polio.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. There were two for polio, and there was actually another one
And
for.
there's also the polio fund.
Yep.
And that was probably too much of a clue for you.
No, that's fine because you had another one that was to wipe out measles, and I started running through about 8 different organizations there. So no, that was good.
And now the March of Dimes, since polio has been conquered, March of Dimes now focus on birth defects and infant mortality.
Yep.
So they still exist. The polio fund, I think, no longer exists because their purpose was accomplished.
Yep.
Okay, you're at 16. Let's see if he can beat this one. Okay. Yep. Oh, and let's go.
Okay. So the channel.
Yeah, the channel. Sorry.
No, that's okay. We talked about Confessions of a Theme Park Worker is non-religious. It's meant for anybody and everybody. I keep it very non-political.
Oh yeah, I know.
Religious.
Didn't you just have a problem with that this last election cycle?
In fact, I had somebody who wanted me to get political on it, and
you publicly
got upset when I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, you publicly came out and told us you weren't going to do that.
Yeah. Now I do have another channel. I don't update it anywhere near as often. Called the Burning Bush.
The other channel because I want to use that for another competition series. Okay. So this is a tease audience. If you watch a future series with George, it may be about his other channel. So okay.
But yeah, I have had a couple people over the years get upset with me because I won't, espouse a political view, and And I won't say
religious
which,
I've ever seen you do was say God bless at the end.
and that's kind of a traditional thing I do with just about every single one.
But you don't avoid religious theme parks either, do you?
No.
Or have you?
Nope. I've done a video on the Holy Land experience. I've
you go to
done
Noah's
videos
Ark?
when I was in Israel.
Didn't you go to Noah's Ark?
We went to the
gigantic
Creation
thing?
Museum and the Noah's Ark. Yep.
Okay.
So if it's a
Is
tourist
that the
place,
one that made the
they're not
gigantic building, the gigantic ark thing?
I'm sorry?
Isn't that the one that made the gigantic ark replicate?
Yes. Yeah, it's supposed to be a life-size replica of the Ark in Kentucky, and it's really neat. It's very cool to walk around, even if you don't believe in the story from the Bible. It's a neat deal to see.
And this is one thing that I remember in the discussions on when you did your live cast was that there are theme parks in Israel, and I just always think that's just religious place.
Well, Israel, of course, is a country of 6.5 million people. Actually, I think it's more than that. So there's a lot of things that aren't religious. In fact,
don't they have nightclubs and so on too? I mean,
Tel Aviv is known as a nightlife city. You may be surprised that, in fact, the number of religious people in Israel is actually pretty small. You've got a lot of tourists that go, and it is the home of the 3 major religions in the world. With Islam has a shrine up on top in Jerusalem. Judaism, of course, and Christianity all come from there, but most of the people aren't actually religious, but they're very happy to take the religious tourist money.
I bet they are. And isn't the reason we have what is it? Sundays for Jews. Oh no, Sundays are for
Jews are on Saturdays.
Saturdays are
Sabbath starts Friday night, actually.
Jewish, for Jews, and Friday is for Muslims.
Friday is Muslims, and then that was Christians in general are Sundays.
And that was because a lot of them share the same, I think, even monuments, don't they? They have.
There are some similar things where
they did this as a compromise, so that basically they didn't walk over each other.
Nope, actually, it had nothing to do with that. For Muslims, it was basically what Muhammad said, that you will worship on Fridays. Jews were already doing Saturdays at the time. The reason Christians began to worship on Sundays, initially it was Saturdays as well, because the first believers in Jesus were all Jewish.
Yeah, 7 days.
But as Gentiles came in,
or something like that, they only do it on Saturdays, right?
Right. But because Jesus rose from the dead on Sunday, that's the day they begin to celebrate.
Okay, now that makes sense. Okay.
We went non-religious on the channel.
Oh yeah, sorry, folks. No, I'm not going to avoid religion on this show. Yeah. I mean, I'm an atheist, or what people would call an atheist, but I was almost a religious minister myself when I was I was groomed to be that when I was young.
But Israel has a lot of amazing theme parks, non-religious stuff. They don't necessarily have theme parks like we
have in Jerusalem.
They're more amusement parks, and there's 3. They do have one place that actually has, it's called Israel Land, and it is basically the country of Israel in miniature size. And I've heard about this. I want to go check it out. I'm hoping
is that going to be one of your park tales?
If we can make it there, absolutely. Yep.
Cool. All right, folks. Let's see. This is part of a series. It's best out of 9. Right now, it's George is a little bit behind, not far. He's 2-1. Rick's George is the 1.
Yep.
We've had 3 ties so far, and so we might not get to best of 5. I mean, first of 5, but whatever happens, we'll get to best of 9, and if it's a tie, it's a tie. If you are so please subscribe to this channel and to see the rest of this series, as well as all of our fantastic episodes that will be coming down the line. If you're a YouTuber or an author, there's a link in the description where you can apply to be a contestant. I encourage you to do so. I'd love to have you on. Okay, we'll see how Rick does against 16 questions. All right. Back after this commercial break. Welcome back to Interrogation. Rick, what else do we need to know about your book, Bill the Vampire?
Well, it kicks off an entire universe, which at this point is about 26 books long. In fact, as the time of this taping, I actually just had a new book come out today.
Oh, cool. Well, what is the book? What's the new book?
So the new book is called Sins of the Past, and it's a crossover between the Bill of the Dead series, which is the sequel series to Tome of Bill, and a spin-off series called False Icons.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope to have you on more one time, and there'll be a book for then. Right now, I'd like to have you try to pitch this current book, Bill the Vampire, and so that people will buy it. In fact, I don't know if I've told you guys that at the top of the description, the first 3 lines that you see without having to click on show more are lines which will have the contestant number 1 have line, and then it'll be a link to either, well, in Sir Willow's case, his YouTube channel's homepage, or in your case, the Amazon page for your book. So anyways, what else for Bill? Is there a secondary character? Okay, I'll ask this.
There's several secondary.
Is there a love interest? Is there a love interest? Or is he too much?
Bill is what you call, he's continually referred to throughout the series as a dateless dork. So there's a love interest. He doesn't have much luck with her. I'd say there's more of a foil to Bill in that.
Is she the one behind your shoulder? Your left shoulder?
No, the one behind my shoulder. Her name is Christy, and she's a witch.
You mean the one with the flames? She's
Yep.
on your other shoulder, by the way. That one. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's not his love interest.
At least not in the first. At least not in the first series.
Oh, okay.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry, folks. Sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm
I
not
know.
offering spoilers. No, I'm just saying.
People hate spoilers. I hate spoilers. Okay. So is there any other major characters that, without spoiling it for everyone?
Oh, sure. I mean, you're introduced early on to her name is Sally Sunset, and that's not her real name. She basically, a lot of the vampires in the coven Bill has turned in, they're given kind of fake, like spooky names by the guy in charge because he's a bit of a jerk, and that's the name he gives her. She's she's basically a 55-year-old vampire in the body of a 20-year-old stripper, and she
There
becomes
you go.
Bill.
There you go, George.
She's kind of Bill's friend, but she's also his foil in that Bill's a bit of a sheltered nerd, so he's also a bit of a perv. You know, he kind of talks freely and stuff, and she's just there to smack him down whenever he whenever he gets out of his place.
Okay. All right. Well, shall we do the game now?
Sure.
Okay. Contestant, the category is nonprofit organization. Go.
Does it benefit animals?
No.
Does it benefit people?
Yes.
Was it started by somebody famously rich?
Yes.
The person who started was the person who started it in software?
No.
Not Bill Gates.
It was worth
George
going
can
there.
say anything. I can't.
Not to get political, but was the person who started it banned from running a charity?
No. Who would be that?
Let's see. Does it benefit children?
Yes.
Okay. Is it Make-A-Wish?
No. And if-
Toys for Tots?
what?
Toys for Tots?
No. And again, to remind you, you can burn 2 questions, 2 points, but you got, if
I'm
you-
running blank. You know something? I'm going to burn those 2 points and give me a hint.
Oh, okay.
I didn't expect that, did you? I doubt this will help.
I do like that both of us thought of Make-A-Wish, though.
Well, do you think I should give the same one? Becky's nodding her head.
That would be fair.
Yeah. Okay, giving you the same hint that I gave to George. It has accomplished its mission and is now working on a related problem.
Accomplished its mission, now working on a related problem. Wouldn't be Jerry Lewis's Muscular Dystrophy Association.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think that had fixed. Trying to think if there's any children's charities that are nonprofits that are for polio, because that's kind of been fixed.
Is that your question?
No, that's kind of thinking out loud.
What was that thinking out loud? Just out of curiosity.
I was basically thinking if there's any children's charities that were focused on polio, since that's kind of like one of those few things that's kind of been mostly wiped out until at least I think recently.
Okay. So is that your question? I'm sorry, I'm confused.
No, that was me thinking. Okay, something. We'll turn that into question. Does it have to do with polio?
Yes.
Did it have to do with polio?
Yes.
Wow, I have no idea what the name of the charities that deal that. So I'm sure if I did, I would know that.
How old are you? How old are you? What?
49.
49. Well, you're close to our age.
Right on there.
Bill's 51. I'm 57. You know this organization.
Trying to think what has done polio. God, I do not know. UNICEF?
No.
I'm just gonna be throwing random ones out here at this point.
I mean, technically, you can burn another 2 points. You have what is it? You have what, 5?
The problem is narrowing down the disease they fought really doesn't help me, since I'm not really familiar with who did that. I mean, Red Cross.
No.
Come on, keep it going.
You know something? I'm gonna take those two. I'm gonna burn those two.
Okay.
And go out in a blaze of glory.
Okay. Okay. Sure, people will correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, it was started by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. That's 2.
The tip of my tongue. Franklin D. Roosevelt. What did he start?
Trying to remember.
Definitely wasn't Ronald McDonald House. No, it's not. And that's, like I said, that's just me thinking out loud. I'm 100% drawing a blank. The World Polio Foundation.
What?
The World Polio Foundation.
No. And I think you have one more, right? Or is he done?
Yeah.
I think you have one more question. Okay.
And you are correct on the founder, by the way.
Cool.
I don't know. Kids without crutches.
I don't think that's an organ.
Come back.
The March of Dimes.
Ah,
The March of Dimes. I raised money as a kid for the March of Dimes.
the last time I heard of March of Dimes was
literally
made.
when I was a kid. we went with, they gave you this little box. I think it was like a shape of a house, etc. And you literally were only to collect dimes. Okay. And you went to the doorbell, you rang this as and they gave you wore a little apron or something like that, showing that you're part of it, so that you're just, begging money from people, and you had them put it physically into this little cardboard box. And when the cardboard box, you couldn't fit anymore, then you're to go and to my church ran it. We then went and we gave it to the church, and then they would then crack open the box, count out all the dimes, and I was one of the few in my church. I was one of the few that ever filled their box. But I just went to I'm from Flatfield, Wisconsin, which is a university town. So I just went to the dormitories and went from dorm room to dorm room. So I can't have a dime for kids, and they couches. Sure. If I remember the one gal, she took $1 of dimes and put them all in.
Nice.
So
you could have given me a dozen hints. I wouldn't have gotten that.
Well, interesting is now it's 2-2 with 2-2 with 3 ties. So
it's going to come down to the wire.
Yep. Okay. Next episode, guys. See ya.